cover-up or it was a direct homicide.
Breaking news tonight in the case of missing 2-year-old Dior Kunz Jr. The private investigator in this case, Philip R. Klein, is ruling that the toddler has died as the result of a homicide.
He was hired by the family to investigate. In a phone interview, Klein has once again named the parents, Vernal Dior Kunz and Jessica Mitchell, as well as the grandfather, Robert Walton, the primary suspects in the child's disappearance.
He says they are lying to police and they know exactly what happened. Good evening, everyone. This marks a major development in this case.
Now, here's the timeline of some of the major highlights of the case. July 10th, Dior Kunz Jr. disappears from the campground near Ledor.
November 28th, the Klein Investigations out of Texas hired as a private investigator in this case.
January 25th, the Lemhi County Sheriff Lynn Bowerman names the parents as possible suspects in the case of their missing son. And then today, the announcement from Klein Investigations. This leads us to Local News 8's Chris Nessman, who interviewed the chief private investigator in the case. Chris.
Yeah, Jane, Carol, I was on the phone with the private investigator Philip R. Klein for about 10 minutes. He told me several reasons why he's labeled the parents and the grandfather as persons of interest in the case.
Both Vernal and Jessica have been given extensive polygraph tests by the state of Idaho, local polygraph examiner, and accordingly an FBI examiner, and they have failed all of their polygraph tests. We are publicly asking both Vernal and Jessica to come forward and tell the true story, to stop lying, to stop misleading investigators, and let's bring this thing to a conclusion.
Klein said the next step in the investigation is the process of recovery. He believes through evidence and witness statements, they will be able to recover the body in this case. Klein's goal is to start searching in a particular region around Ledor when spring thaw begins.
But we will be bringing in specialized dogs from Georgia into a certain area of the lower part of the campground. That's all we're willing to say at this point. And we will begin a ground search, an extensive ground search.
Klein said he does not believe that family members of Dior's parents or grandfather are involved. He also said Isaac Reinwin, the friend of the grandfather, is cooperating and helping to further the investigation.
My belief is charges will be filed. I do not know when. I do not know what those charges will be, but I do know that there is extensive conversation at this point regarding what those charges will be.
Now, one thing we want to make very, very clear, these statements have all come from the private investigator, Philip R. Klein. They do not represent the opinions or views of any other law enforcement or investigative team, at least as far as they have told us so far. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Chris Nessman.
Thanks, Chris. And we did reach out to Lemhi County for comment. They said it's a very active investigation and it is a top priority for Lemhi County Sheriff's Office. We will continue.